just me.
Good gravy, that's so good. Hey everyone, this is Jacqueline with America's Best Restaurants, and we are here in Worcester, Pennsylvania at a farm-to-table restaurant called Braise. It's a little hidden gem, and I'm going to showcase with you why you need to get here and try out some of their delicious pastries, some short ribs, and a plethora of menu items that are inspired by the chef's history. Come on in. So nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Scott made an awesome fig and goat cheese tart.
Oh yay, I'm so excited about that. I would love to. Let's go.
Hey, what's happening?
Hello.
Fig and goat cheese.
Well, how could I possibly say no to that? Oh my goodness.
Came out of the oven.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back to my roots a little bit from how we started
Yeah.
a year ago. So it's really, really nice. We got some nice soft goat cheese with a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper.
Beautiful.
Baked it with some butter, and then I have some nice honey on it.
Lovely.
I really think you should
I'm
enjoy
sure
it.
I'll get it on my shirt, but you know, we're gonna give this our best shot.
Messy food is the best food.
Agreed. So I'm gonna take a bite, but I want to hear before I just sink my teeth completely into this. I've noticed this place is so cute. I love it. So tell me a little bit about what can people expect when they come here?
Well, you're walking into our kitchen, as you can see.
Ooh.
So we have all sorts of copperware.
Yes,
We have
I saw
all
the
sorts
pans.
of
Super cute.
kitchenware. And I was actually told by one of our clients that red makes you hungry, and they told us that after we painted it. So it
Well done
worked out
on that
well.
and on this. Oh my gosh, it's flaky deliciousness.
And of
Holy, I didn't
course-
even get to the goat cheese, so I'm going in for round two. Keep going, keep going.
Of course, awesome food. Scott's been a chef for 30 plus years. Yeah, 30 plus years. So you're in great hands with him. Well, what do you
Absolutely, I am in great hands. Holy moly. This is so flaky and like delicate, really. The honey completely balances it out, and that goat cheese just comes in for the It's so good. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that with me. I can't wait to taste. I'm gonna lick my finger here, okay? I can just stuck on my fingers. It's so good. I can't wait to taste more of what you have, and I hear that you're prepping up a little something in the kitchen. I'm gonna get to watch you make a meal.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait for
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be awesome. I was thinking about doing some shrimp and grits.
Let's do this thing. Come on, everyone. Well, I'm in the kitchen here with Chef Scott,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and he is going to be preparing some shrimp and grits for us, and I'm super excited because you put your own little flavor and flair
just
on
a
it,
little
of
bit.
course.
Just a little bit.
So tell me what this dish is all about. Let's get started,
Well,
man.
pretty much what it's all about, just to give you the ground rules, and then we'll get cooking.
Yeah.
The grits. The grits is just something that I grew up eating.
Yes.
You know, I'm from a little small town in Nitro, so it's very homey for me, and it's really southern-y. The shrimp and grits, obviously, they just go hand in hand.
Right.
We're fortunate enough, I have some local andouille sausage that we're using for this dish.
Yum.
That's a real important thing for me here. You know, I try to use as many local items as I can.
That's fantastic.
So really, when it comes down to it, we have vegetables, shrimp, sausage, butter, bourbon, cream, and then some cilantro. That's basically it. So that's it.
Sweet,
So we're
let's
gonna
do
get
this
cooking.
thing.
Let's roll.
Let's do it.
So this is the fun part. This is where I feel most comfortable.
Okay.
I'm gonna just reach
Yep.
over here. All right. So all we're doing is
You're
just,
in your element
just
right
a simple,
here, right?
you know, blended oil.
Uh-huh.
I don't do anything special. So here's that beautiful sausage. It's coming from a company called Leighton's, and they're probably about 5 miles down the road.
I love that you use
Every local knows this.
vendors.
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
really cool. And then just some simple onions and peppers.
Yeah.
You know, nothing flashy. And then shrimp. We'll do it like that. And then what I don't do, I don't season this right away, just because of the seasoning that's already in the sausage.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'll do that at the end.
Sausage seasoning just kind of, you know, just kind of folds into the other flavors.
Exactly.
Makes
and what
sense.
we do
Makes
here,
sense.
you know, some of the things I do are a little unorthodox according to, you know, when you follow a recipe, you're going to cook your raw stuff, then you add your cooked. But I'm going to add the cooked in there so those flavors will infuse into the shrimp. You know, so that's basically,
makes total sense. So
that's the base that we're working with, you know, and we're going to just let that go. And there's just a little bit of oil. I'm going to reach behind you. I'm just going to grab a little bit of butter. It's just a little whipped butter. Nothing fancy. I put a little butter in there just to give it a little oomph.
I love oomph. Oomph is my jam.
So what I'm looking for over here is really, I'm only going to cook these shrimp halfway.
Okay.
You know, because I'm going to throw in the bourbon. We're going to flambe that. So that's going to increase the heat.
Sure.
And we want to try to make sure that they're not rubbery, you know. So that's the whole idea.
Yes.
So I flip them when they're still raw.
Yeah.
But now you can see the color here. It's starting to change. You know, so the butter's starting to brown. And then you're getting the cayenne pepper and all those great spices that are in the sausage. So that's really it.
I get where you're going with this.
So it's visual too for me. You know, so I'm seeing this. So now,
the color.
you know, it's just a little bit. It's not super red. But now what we're going to do is we're going to add some cilantro to it. This is one of my favorite ingredients.
Cilantro?
I throw this in almost everything.
Really?
Yeah. You know,
why is it one of your favorites? Tell me.
Because I just love the flavor. I love, you know, Mexican and Spanish cuisine. And it's just very nice for me. So it's fun for me when people come in and they're like, I hate cilantro, but you just ate it. And it was good. You know,
I love that.
But it's just one of my little trademarks. So now, you see, you know, these are starting to shrivel up a little bit. Now we're going to flambe this baby.
Okay.
So we just
I'm going to take a little step back because I got hairspray in the hair.
You can use top shelf, whatever, but this is real. So about a half a shot. You're going to flame this down. And I don't really want to cook out. Now, if, say, a younger customer is ordering this, I'm going to cook this alcohol all the way out. Yeah. But if it's not, I'm not going to cook it all the way out.
Get some of that, flavor in there. I want
some of that to stay in there. Now we're just going to hit, you know, some simple heavy cream. Really just enough to cover the bottom, you know, not to cover all the ingredients. We're going to let this reduce. So while this is doing its thing, I'm just going to grab a little bit of salt. Okay. Just a little, not much. You know, so the whole thing, we're building flavors.
That's what that is.
You know, there's some salt content in that heavy cream. There's salt in your sausage, so you don't want to overdo it. And also a little bit in the butter. You know, so So you want to make sure that when this is done, you know, you can pretty much taste everything, you know, that's in there, and it all works really well. So obviously it's not reduced yet. It's not ready, but I'm just going to taste it, you know, just to see where we're at. And for me, that's where it's at. That's awesome. So if you don't mind, I'll grab you a spoon.
Oh, please.
If you want to taste it, it's real important here.
Okay.
You know, this is like one of those perks of being back here behind the line.
All right. I'm going to blow it off a little bit so I don't burn my lips.
Yeah, so.
Creamy, I can taste the butter too.
Yeah, so you
and then
you can
a little
taste
bit
those
of the
things.
booze.
Yeah, so now the other trick to it, like the most important part for me, is I want to make sure I want to turn these shrimps one more time. And then we're going to dip a little more bourbon in there, just a touch, all right? So what we're going to do, we're basically fortifying this. Is actually, it's a real culinary term. We're going to fortify it. So you're going to have some raw bourbon in there. So really
gets a little more of that flavor up there.
Now we're ready to plate. So this is where it gets fun, because we're going to plate, and then you can consume it and, you know, do whatever. So we just have our grits, water, milk, a lot of butter, salt and pepper. That's it.
Yeah.
Butter's good, cream's good. So we just put it like a nice little portion, you know, because there's a lot going on there. So, you know, I don't want people to go, oh my gosh, it's so like structured. So what I do is I just dump. I dump it, you know, so it's very organic. It's very natural.
Would you say this is a comfort food dish for you?
It is a comfort food excuse me, I'm stuttering over here. It's a comfort food dish for me.
Yeah.
You know, it is because you know, there's a lot of memories involved in this. There's a lot of history. And also there's just a lot of acknowledgement, you know, for the restaurants that are in the South and for the people that are in the South. And when you do think of shrimp and grits, this is, you know, shrimp and grits. And I just wanted to put my own spin on it.
Yeah.
I love to use bourbon in a lot of things that I do. I just think it has a nice flavor profile. And I just think it's just something special. So for me, I can eat this when it's 120 degrees outside. I can eat it when it's, you know, negative 37. I just think it's good. And when you eat it, hopefully it'll make you feel good. You know, that's pretty much what it's all about.
And
you know?
it's about, you know, home for you.
Yeah,
so of course that's going to make you feel good. I love that. Let's dive into this puppy.
I definitely want to share this with everyone.
Let's dive in. All right. Okay, we've got to try.
Yeah, you got to try it.
This puppy.
Give it a try. Let me know what you think.
Oh, all right. I'm going to cut a little piece of the sausage and the shrimp because I want all of it, but I also want to be able to talk to you too.
That's fine. There's no judgment in the kitchen. Trust me. It's all good.
All right, so here's my delicious bite.
All right. Nice. So what I like to do, I like to go in and just do the grits and the sauce first. That's
Do
just,
you? Oh,
that's just
my
me.
good gravy, that's so good.
So the awesome thing about this is with the grits, you know, when we tasted this was pretty powerful. Like really was the sauce. But
just
then you
got
get
the
those
bourbon.
grits, it really mellows everything.
And I
out.
just tasted that cilantro, which is not a flavor that I would have
So
expected.
it's
Oh my
secret
goodness.
weapon, you know?
I love it. I love
You know,
it.
it's
Oh
just-
my
it's
great.
very versatile.
I got to get some more of the sauce in here on this one. Though.
Yeah.
I'm going in.
So it's super cool. And this is a fun dish. This was one of my very first dishes that I introduced to the public when we opened the restaurant.
Those flavors work beautifully together.
Yeah. So it's not,
Beautifully.
there's no heat, you know, it's not killing you. It's not that kind of a shrimp and grits type of a dish. But, you know, to me, it's just very nice. It's well balanced. There's a little naughtiness to it, you know, because you got your butter, you got your cream, you got your bourbon.
A little naughtiness. I like that.
Yeah, you know, so for me, that's how I'm looking at it. You know, there's a little bit of a wit for when I'm putting these things together. And, you know, so I'm hoping, you know, it may be 1 in 1,000, but you know, that one person will have this and go, wow, this is great.
This is
This
fantastic.
makes me feel naughty. You know, I've been eating so well, and this is just awesome.
So this is the cheat meal.
It is, but
I
it's
get
all good. You know, it's all good, healthy, fresh ingredients, and that's,
True, you got
that's
all the
most
protein.
important things. You know, there's nothing
Agreed.
processed here. Obviously, you know, you have your sausage, but it's cured, it's smoked. You know, everything's good. You know, it's fresh, so it's good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you so much
You're
for
very
sharing
welcome.
this with me.
Thanks for giving me the
This
opportunity to
is,
cook
I'm
for
all
you.
about it. All right, so I am sitting here with Vanessa and Nick, who come to Braise quite regularly, and I want to know what keeps you coming back.
Well, when we first realized that Braise had opened, and the whole farm to table concept is always one of those things that's important to people like us. We consider ourselves foodies, and we also drink a lot of wine. So the fact that it was a BYO, the fact that it was a BYOB was another big attraction. And it's something that once we started, there was never a bad meal. It was always something that was just delicious. Chef Scott, he's a sauce master. I mean, anything that comes out, whatever that sauce is that's on there is delicious. You know, it's just going to be great.
I just had the shrimp and grits, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
shrimp and grits are a staple. It's like it's a great place. I mean, so much so that, well, they won the Montgomery County, best BYOB.
Which I hear you had a little something to do with that.
I was the one that nominated them. Because like our table's around the corner there. It's like we pretty much have our designated spot when we're here. But it's great. I mean, if you're somebody that really does enjoy wine with a meal, you want to have a really good meal with that wine. And then this is a great place. I mean, right now I consider it's the best place you're not eating right now, because there's
Best place you're not eating. That's a good one.
the location. It's easy to get to. There's tons of parking and whatnot. But I know just with our own friends, we try to get people to come in all the time, and every time they do, they're like, "That place was great." You know, it's like I didn't even realize.
Here. And we here often. I have brought people from work, friends for birthdays, and everybody's always pleased and happy to come here. And then they, come with their own families or their own friends. I have never had a bad meal.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And even our kids love it. So.
And your kids do too.
Yeah.
All right. And so Chef's got some of these famous biscuits, which are inspired by his grandma, which is awesome. I love that he brings that into to what he creates. And some strawberry jam and then some honey chipotle butter. I've never experienced that before. I'm just going to tear. So I'm going, just straight dive in style.
Go ahead.
And some of this fresh strawberry jam.
I'll grab one.
I'll follow you on that one. Do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll try not to make a mess.
Do I know that these have cheese in them? I never would have thought, that the strawberry would taste
Well, it's like
with it, but it is I'm 2 thumbs up over here.
It's like a fruit and cheese kind of thing, which which goes that way, but you don't think about it when it's a biscuit. But anything that he makes, well, everything's from scratch, but I mean, anything like this, it's always super good.
Okay, now I'm going in for the butter because I have to try a chipotle maple butter, and I think I went a little generous, but Just got the maple on that.
It's not
That
really
is
spicy.
It's not. It's not.
It's not spicy.
It just makes it more of a savory bite than a sweet bite. Wow, this is delightful.
It is.
Well, thank you so much for sharing why you love this place and why you keep coming back.
Absolutely.
So I am here with Scott and Michelle. And guys, you have got to tell me more about just the concept behind Braise.
Well, pretty much the concept is just my life's journey. It's just a combination of my experiences, the places that I've worked at, and it's my voice. It's an extension of me. It is pretty much, not to be self-centered, but it is a very personal experience, cooking for someone, sharing those things with people that you don't know. So really what Braise is, we want it to translate to welcoming, nourishment, and a story to tell, or a story that was remembered, is pretty much what, so that's just kind of in a nutshell, what Braise really means,
So tell me a little bit about some of your background and just kind of what got you to some of the things that are on the menu, such as the beautiful things I see in front of me.
Okay, so the background is an extremely long story, but I'll hit the beginning, the middle, and where we're at. So out of high school, I was fired from my very first job, and my mother says, "You've got to get a job." So she actually found a job for me in a restaurant.
Okay.
They asked me what kind of music I liked, and I answered that question right. And can you start tomorrow? And I said yes.
What an interesting interview.
Yeah, but we're talking early '90s, so this was a while back.
Okay, yeah.
But basically,
How did you answer? Hold on, before you go on.
well,
How did you answer?
Metallica was my favorite band at the time, and absolutely I could start tomorrow. That was it. So,
All right.
but I got in there. I didn't really have a purpose. I was like the maintenance guy, dishwasher. But what really started this whole thing, and it's what I still feel and believe today, is that I finally fit in somewhere. Okay, so that's the truth of it. I had I had always not been, the cool guy. So what I learned in the kitchen was I didn't really have any skills. I didn't have any knowledge. But if I brought something to the table, and made a contribution, I was a part of something. So it was really cool. So that was the beginning. And that was really where the romance began. It wasn't the food. I had no ambitions, to being a chef, but I just found a place that I belonged. So that's how it started.
Running with it.
So we're going to fast forward. I ended up working for a great independently owned restaurant company in Northern Virginia that did everything from scratch. And I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
So I was hired. And I didn't think I was going to get the job, but I was hired. And I went in and I realized that I had some kind of skill. You know, there was a lot of competition there. People that were in the kitchen already had more knowledge than I did, but it was the same thing. You know, you worked hard, you showed up, you were a part of it. And so to me, that has always been and always will be, you know, the reason why, you know, I wanted to open my own restaurant and to continue to do this as a career is because of the belongingness and the community that is in, you know, because everyone is welcome in a restaurant, you know, everybody, you know, and I think right now, you know, it's being pushed aside, but that used to be the way it was and is for restaurants. It's a safe haven for the misfits and, you know, kind of to quote Anthony Bourdain a little bit, but it's the truth.
Because I saw some of his memorabilia.
You know,
so I know there's got to be something there.
Most definitely. And, you know, and I think that, you know, when you feel comfortable, you feel like you belong and you're at home, then you're going to give more to people. Sure. You know, no matter what it is. So what this is Braise. So
would it be safe to say then that you found yourself in that restaurant industry?
Yeah,
like you
I
found
did.
yourself in the kitchen. And now you're getting to share a piece of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm still finding myself. But yes, you know, you have some short ribs here. So a quick story with the short rib is, you know, this is nothing new.
Talk about it.
But when we first opened, you know, June 28th of 2022.
Yeah, so almost a year.
Almost a year, yeah. But the problem was I didn't have a solid menu. And I said, hey, I'm going to do short ribs. Because I don't like to follow the rules. And in the summer, but I did the short ribs.
You say that a lot. I'm just saying. You say follow the rules in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
Follow the rules at all.
But I figured, why not? You know, I'll give it a shot. And so I just add a little flair to it. You know, some bourbon. I do a little molasses in the gravy and some vanilla. Yeah. So
I'm tasting a little of the sweet.
Yeah.
But not too much.
No.
No, it's
But-
perfect.
It just pairs with that meat.
Yeah.
That juicy meat. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's a little unorthodox, but
Flavor.
yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is delightful. Please dig in with me if you want.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. Oh yeah.
So yeah, Anthony Bourdain has got some influence. I love that you're taking pieces of yourself and you're sharing it, which is why I would say, you know, when you're making things for people, it's so personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's so personal that you're sharing that and then you're watching them enjoy it. And you were telling me a story earlier how when people eat your food and they're all loud and they're talking and they're having fun with their friends and the food comes out. So before the food, you know, they're just chatting.
Yeah.
Food comes out and it gets real quiet. And you're like, that's when I know.
Well, it could go either way, you know. So I really look for that, you know, that, you know, it's nice because the kitchen is open. So, you know, I don't always have the opportunity to have the interaction with the guests. So I'm able to hear them. So it does make me happy, you know, with the thought that, hey, they got quiet, the food is pretty good, you know. So hopefully, you know, that's just, you know, kind of the midway point, you know, when they meet Michelle, when they first come in, you know, her personality, you know, that's the way it starts, you know, that's how it starts. So, you know, with her and I and what she brings here, you know, is that sense of home in a way, you know, you know, like we're friends and, you know, and we're doing something special. So.
And you had mentioned that, you know, when people come in, that you want it to be like they're coming into your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
So I noticed that you do have that open concept. And was that the whole crux behind it? Because you said you kind of wanted people to be able to experience and see what it is that you're making as well as tasting it, which is, you know, just something that's very unique because you don't always get to see it.
No, you don't. And I had worked in an open kitchen before, but this, you know, wasn't really planned. You know, it just, when I decided to do this, it was right in the middle of the COVID shutdowns, you know, so, but we had visited this place and there was just something about it. And, you know, luck had it that we were able to negotiate a deal. And I had different concepts and different ideas. But then when I saw the open kitchen, like, this is cool, you know? So So I had this muddled vision of what I wanted to do, you know, with the decor and, you know, the whole thing. But what I really wanted to do and what we're trying to achieve is, you know, welcome to the kitchen. You see the pots, you see the pans, the utensils. So first things first, it's a kitchen, it's cooking. So, and then it's pieces of home, because you see everyone has a whisk, everyone has a colander. So it's very, you know, low key decor, but yeah, the whole open kitchen concept I think is nice because it adds theater to it, and, you know, it adds validity to your food, you know, because you had actually seen me back there cooking.
Sure.
You know, so there's no smoke and mirrors.
Right.
You know, there's no
Yes.
microwaves,
Yes.
none of that. So, you know, you can call me on my, you know, mistakes, because you see me back there. I'm like, oh man, you know, this guy's doing something. Well, you know, it's all 100%, you know, legit back there. So I think it really does add, you know, some people, they don't really pay attention much, you know, but it just adds to the ambiance a little bit, you know.
Absolutely.
So it's the click and clack of the pans, and, you know, the flame ups every once in a while, and some people really get thrilled. And
I think that
you know,
adds to the overall
Oh, yeah.
the overall experience of a place and vibe. And it's kind of like, you know, welcome to my kitchen. You belong here.
yeah, definitely, it's very well put.
Yeah, we get that a lot from our guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your influence here with Braise and the inception of Braise, because you guys were talking a little bit about it.
Well, I think, you know, again, it's just a culmination of his 30 years, and I've been in business, and I love to cook. My own grandmother taught him how to make raviolis.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I come from a Italian, Polish family and large family, and I just think that, you know, food, even when you come to our house, it's like, what do you want to eat?
Yes.
You know,
I'm with you.
Like, just, you know, I don't feel as if I welcomed you if I didn't feed you and make you full. And I say to all our guests, all right, did you guys have a good time? And they're like, yes. Like, are you full?
Right.
Yes. Then our job's done.
Perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this key lime pie, and it's beckoning.
Yeah,
It
so-
just is.
So this is really
across the
exciting, you know, because I'm waiting for you to try this. So what I did basically, it's just,
table. Oops, things over.
you know, it's a nice spin, not even a spin. It's, you know, disclaimer, it's a Martha Stewart recipe.
Okay.
Okay? I am not a pastry chef, but it really came out nice. But what I did to add my little spin to it is I did a coconut creme anglaise, you know, to kind of give it a little more elegance to it.
Get that back on there.
So just like the song goes, you know, put the lime in the coconut. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really nice, you know.
And key lime pie is very
my
popular in Florida.
The coconut was the way to go, man. That
Yeah.
was the way to go. Oh my goodness, it's so creamy, and lime and cocoa from the sauce.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Like that is that's fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to do ice cream, but I thought that would be pretty cool. You know,
yes.
so that's what this
Good
is.
move,
This is
good
going to be
move.
a new, you know, we're launching this actually as we're filming this. This will be our new
Oh my goodness.
dessert feature, you know, for the
Definitely.
weekend. So
That coconut adds depth to it
Yeah.
all. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's delightful. Please have some with
yeah,
me.
definitely. I've been wanting to try this whole combo, even though I made
This
it.
is the first time.
Yeah,
I've been
I've had it
testing
separately.
Separately. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get experience.
First time for us.
Your yes.
it is so good.
It's
It is so good.
delightful.
Like seriously.
It's like vacation in your mouth.
Yeah, you know.
Right?
It's nice. And this is, you know, right here is just a really simple example of what Braise is all about. You know, it's, you know, I'm going to be honest and say this is not my recipe, but I wanted to elevate it a little bit and make it a little extra special, you know. Yeah, so little nod to Martha Stewart there, but you know, but
you do that a lot though. When we were talking, you know, you give a little nod to your influence.
but I do. I think, you know, for me as a person, like honesty is very, very important to me, you know, and it's like those days of old. You know, one of the people that I looked up to most was my grandfather, you know, and that generation was, you know, your word is your bond type of a thing, you know, and, you know, it's not necessarily realistic now, but that's how I'm presenting these things to you as honestly as I can.
Yeah.
You know, that,
Same with the open It's
Yeah,
it's all
you know,
woven throughout.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I just think that really adds to it, and you know, as long as people understand that, you know, that they're coming into a place where, you know, it's very well thought out, you know, in a basic way, that we're being honest with what our abilities are, but we're trying to push that a little further, and just to give you something truthful, you know, and that you deserve, and that's worth your time, and that will want, you know, give you something that'll say, hey, I want this again, you know, I want to come
Yes.
back, you know. So I
Yes.
think it's important, you know.
Thank you so much
Well, thank
for-
you so much for giving us the opportunity.
Sharing
Thank you for
some
coming in.
wonderful things
Yeah,
today.
it was so fun.
and talking with you. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'll get a spoonful of key lime pie and we'll do a cheers.
That works. Yeah.
I don't have those to do a cheers.
No.
If I can get it now.
Yeah, I know.
When
Are
we
we
take
ready?
pictures, I tell everyone to say,
Oh, come on.
"Praise."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well,
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Praise.
Well, what an absolute honor to be a part and be here at Braise and be able to tell Chef Scott's story and Michelle's story as well, to be able to taste his inspiration that transcends into the food here in Worcester, Pennsylvania. Braise is one of America's best restaurants.